There are lots of things all around us, exciting things that surround us.
But how does it work?
Do you know?
How is it made?
Do you know? Things that go up, things that go down, things that go pop, things that go round, with special cameras to show you inside. It's going to be a big surprise.
But how does it work?
Do you know?
How is it made?
Do you know? Do you know?
Let's find out!
Hello, I'm Maddie, and tonight I'm stargazing. Have you ever looked for stars in the night sky? They look like lots of little bright dots, don't they? And sometimes they even twinkle. But what are stars? And why can we see some of them twinkling in the sky? Do you know how starlight works? Let's find out. How does it work?
Starlight.
To find out about stars and starlight, I've come here to a planetarium. A planetarium can show us pictures of the sky at night, and the pictures are projected onto this huge curved ceiling. It's called a dome. It's a bit like going to the cinema. Should we see it in action? This is Colin. It's Colin's job to look after the planetarium and turn on the projectors which project the pictures onto the dome. Let's go, Colin. Wow. Look how many stars there are in the sky. That is amazing. Stars make patterns in the sky called constellations. A constellation is a group of stars that make a big picture when you join them together. This one is called Leo, and it's known as the Lion constellation. This one is called Pisces. We call it the two fish. Should we see if we can find some? Look, over there, can you see 3 stars in a row? They're in a diagonal line. Right in the middle. Oh, look, there they are. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3. Those 3 stars are called Orion's belt. And if we join the stars together, they look a bit like a belt, don't they? Over there is another constellation. It's got 7 stars. And it's called the Plough. I think it looks a bit like a saucepan with a bendy handle, don't you? To find out why we can see the stars at night, I think we need to take a closer look. When we look up at space, we see the stars as dots of light. In space, there are lots of particles of gas and dust floating around. When something big happens in space, like an explosion, gas and dust are pushed together into a ball. The ball of gas and dust gets heavier and heavier until it collapses, pulling in more gas and dust particles. All the dust and gas starts to spin really quickly, and as they squeeze together, they get really, really hot. This makes a star. And because the star is really hot, it lights up. And we see the starlight twinkling in the night sky. Wow, that was so interesting. Did you know that our sun is a star? Other stars in the sky look really small, don't they? But the sun is really big. That's because the sun is much closer to the Earth than the other stars. Let me show you how it works. We must never look directly at the sun, as it might harm our eyes. So this torch is going to be our sun. Oh, did you hear the sound when I turned it on? It made a click, didn't it? When we see the torch close up, it looks really big. But if I stand further away, now it looks much smaller. Because the sun is close to us, it looks bigger than other stars in the sky. But actually, there are stars out in space that are much, much bigger than the sun, but they look smaller because they're further away. But to see those stars, we need to wait until it's nighttime. So we can see them even better, I'm going to use one of my special cameras. This is a telescope camera, and a telescope helps us to see things that are really far away, close up. Oh, wow! Look, can you see the moon? We can only see a small bit of the moon tonight, and it looks orange. Oh, wow! Can you see those stars in the sky? That is brilliant! Whoa! It looks like it's glowing, doesn't it? Well, that's because stars are really, really hot and they give out lots of light. That light travels from the star through space to us here on Earth, and that's why we can see it. How great is that? I loved finding out how starlight works. What was your favourite bit? Can you remember what we call the patterns that stars make in the sky? That's right, they're called constellations. Did you hear the sound my torch made when I turned it on? And did you see the stars in the night sky with my special telescope camera? I love to look at the stars when it's dark outside, but when I'm inside, I like to relax, and sometimes I watch films. My favourites are animation films, like cartoons. Oh, hello. This is a flip book. Can you see? Each page has a picture on it. And when the pages are turned quickly, the pictures look like they're moving. Just like my flip book, an animation film is made up of lots and lots of pictures. Some animations even use puppets. It's called stop frame animation. But do you know how stop frame animations are made? Let's find out. How is it made?
Stop frame animation.
To find out how a stop frame animation is made, I've come here to an animation studio. To make a stop frame animation, we start with this. This is called a puppet, but inside the puppet is one of these. It's called an armature, and it helps to make the puppet move when we make a stop frame animation. It looks a bit like a skeleton, doesn't it? Hello. And just like our skeleton, the armature helps the puppet stand up and move. But to make stop frame animation, you need more than just a puppet. We need a background for our animation, like these houses. This is called a set. This is George, and George is an animator. It's his job to move the puppet and take photographs. And the photographs will be used to make the stop frame animation, just like our flipbook. Today, George is going to animate the puppet so it walks along the street and then throws the ball up and down. Look, George is attaching the ball to its very own armature. It's called a rig and helps him hold the ball in mid-air. First, George arranges the ball using the rig, and then he moves the puppet into its first position. Once the puppet's in the right position, George takes a photograph. And this is called a frame. To make a stop frame animation, we need lots and lots of frames. Each time George moves the puppet and takes a picture is saved to a computer. The puppet is going to throw the ball up in the air. So George moves the puppet's arms a tiny bit and then lifts the ball using the rig. And I'm going to help by taking the next picture. That looks great, but it will take George about an hour to animate the puppet throwing the ball. So I'm going to film George using one of my special cameras. This is a time-lapse camera, which means we can film things that happen slowly, but when we watch them back, it happens much quicker. and we're set. Look, George is moving the puppet a tiny bit before he takes each photo. Oh, that look great! And now George is moving the puppet towards the ball so he can pick it up and throw it away. And George is finished. Now all the pictures have been taken, they come here to an edit suite. Whoa! Look, here are all the photographs. Before Ed puts the photos together, we need to take out the rig. Can you see Ed is colouring out the rig so it will look like the ball is moving on its own? It's a bit like rubbing out pencil with a rubber. And Ed needs to do this to every single frame for the whole animation. What else do we need to make our animation? Thank you. That's right, sound. This is a microphone and it's going to record the sounds of me walking on gravel and bouncing a ball. A bit like this. These sounds will make the animation feel and look real. And it's so much fun. Sounds great, doesn't it? That was really fun. Can you see there's a bar on the screen? That's called the timeline. All the frames are on the timeline in the right order, and Ed is adding the sounds I just recorded from the microphone. When we make sound to match with pictures, we call it Foley. Right, I think we should watch the finished animation on a big screen. Ready? Here goes. Look at the puppet! It's moving! Each frame that George made earlier on the set is being played back next to each other really quickly. So it looks like the puppet walks and the ball bounces all on their own. That happened really quickly, so let's watch it again. The puppet walks in, gives us a wave, sees the ball, gives it a bounce, and then the ball bounces back. It's taken all day to make just 15 seconds. All of those tiny movements have been put together to make this stop frame animation. How nice is that? What did you like most about seeing how a stop frame animation is made? Do you remember what each photograph is called that makes up a stop frame animation? That's right, it's called a frame. Did you hear the sound my feet made as they walked on the gravel? It was a crunching noise, wasn't it? And did you see my special camera filming George making our stop frame animation? So the next time you watch a stop animation film, you'll know how it was made. And when you see some stars twinkling in the sky, you'll know how we can see them on Earth all the way from space. Right, I think I'm going to do some more stargazing. I'll see you next time. Hello, I'm Maddie, and today I'm out with my binoculars. Binoculars help you to see things that are really far away, close up. Can you guess what I'm trying to see with my binoculars today? Did you guess? I'm bird spotting. Look, there's a bird flying in the sky. It's a gull. And there's one perched in a tree. It's a blue tit. But today, I'm looking for a bird's nest. A bird builds its nest so it has a safe place to lay its eggs and look after its chicks. But do you know how a bird makes its nest? How does a bird's nest work? Let's find out. How does it work?
Bird's nest.
To find out how a bird's nest works, I've come to a nature reserve. They have lots of different types of birds here. Can you hear them? birds build their nests high up in trees. And others hide their nests in branches and bushes. This is so the birds can keep their eggs safe from other animals and the weather. Like the rain. And the wind. But to find out how a bird's nest works, I think we should get a closer look at one. This is Jack, and Jack is an expert in birds' nests. Now, you shouldn't touch, move, or go too close to a bird's nest, but I've got special permission to show you this one so we can find out how it was made. And today, we're looking at a robin's nest. Can you see it's got a dip in the middle, but the sides are nice and high? It's called a cup nest. This keeps the robin's eggs nice and safe when they're laid. To get a closer look, let's use one of my special cameras. This is a microscope camera, and it will let us see what the nest is built of really close up. So let's take a look. There's a twig. That green stuff is moss. And what about this? It looks beautiful, but it's just a dry leaf. But to find out how a bird builds its nest, we need to take a closer look. When a robin builds its nest, it collects lots of dried grass, twigs, moss, and leaves. It makes lots and lots of trips. The bird builds the structure of the nest by weaving all the things it's collected together. The bird collects wet mud from ponds and puddles, which binds and sticks everything together like glue. Then the bird uses its tummy to press on the inside of the nest and make a dip. When the nest is ready, the bird will lay its eggs. And the eggs hatch 2 weeks later. The chicks live in the nest for another 2 weeks before they're ready to fly away. Birds are really clever builders, aren't they? Here at the Nature Reserve, they used a special camera to film a bird building its nest inside this nest box. Shall we see how it did it? This bird is called a blue tit, and here it is, building its nest inside the box. Wow, can you see it's bringing in bits of moss, leaves, twigs, even little feathers. These are the building materials for its nest. Look at it flapping around. That was great. Now let's find out what happened just a few weeks later. The blue tit laid lots of eggs inside the nest. And can you spot what's in the corner? That's right, it's a chick. One of the eggs was hatched. Look how cosy the chick is inside the nest. It was great to see inside a bird's nest, but to show you how clever birds are at making nests, I'm going to try to build one. And first, we need some building materials. Can you remember what we need? We can use leaves, twigs, and moss. I'm going to start by making a frame with some of the twigs and bits of dry grass. Look, the nest is taking shape. The twigs and grass are woven together in a circle. Now I'm going to use a bit of mud and wet moss to help everything stick together. A bird would make the inside of the nest round and smooth using its tummy, but I can't do that, so I'm just going to use my hand instead. To finish the nest, I'm going to put some small soft feathers on the inside. It's looking great, but a bird's nest needs to be put somewhere safe. Well, I think I found the perfect spot. A bird's nest should be able to hold some eggs, so I've made 5 out of modelling clay. Let's see if my bird's nest can hold them. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5! There you have it. That is my try at a bird's nest. That was so much fun. That was brilliant. I loved finding out about how a bird's nest works. What did you like most? Do you remember the name of the type of nest that a small bird might make? That's right, it's a cup nest. Did you hear the sound that the birds were making? And did you see the little chick on the Nature Reserve special camera? So the next time you see a bird, you'll know how it builds its nest. A bird's nest keeps its eggs and chicks warm and safe while they grow. We have things to keep us safe too, don't we? Can you think of any? We put on sunglasses to protect our eyes from the sun. We wear gloves to protect our hands from the cold. And we wear a helmet on our heads to keep it safe when we ride a bike. But do you know how a bike helmet is made? Let's find out. How is it made?
Helmet.
Bike helmets are made here, in a bike helmet factory. Here, they make bike helmets in lots of different colours. Red ones, grey ones, blue ones. But today, they're making my favourite colour, orange. Bike helmets are great because they're soft and comfy on the inside, but hard on the outside to protect our heads. But to make a hard bike helmet, you need to start with something that rolls. Carbon fibre. Carbon fibre is made of thousands of tiny strands of a natural material called carbon. But to get a better look at them, I've got one of my special cameras. It's called a microscope camera and lets me see small things much bigger. Wow, can you see the carbon fibre? Look at how those strands are going over and under each other. It's called a weave. Each of those strands might be tiny, but they're really, really strong. Let me show you how strong. Here, I've got a strand of carbon fibre and a strand of cotton. Cotton is used to make things like cotton shopping bags or my shirt, so it's quite strong. But let's see what happens when I try to break it. That was very easy. So what do you think will happen when I do the same to the strand of carbon fibre? Shall we see? I have no chance of breaking that. That is so strong, and it's only a tiny strand. So imagine how strong it is when you weave lots of strands together. This is perfect for making bike helmets. To do that, we need a mould, and this helmet mould gives the helmet its shape. I think it looks a bit like a mixing bowl, doesn't it? Can you remember the colour of the helmet we're making today? That's right, orange. Like this orange. And for that, we're going to need some special orange paint. This is Lewis. He mixes the orange paint before he paints the mould with a paintbrush. Next, he adds something called resin. It works like a glue and helps the carbon fibre go hard. Can you see it takes the shape of the bike helmet mould? Now it just needs a trim. And once the edges have been cut, our helmet shape is left to dry. This helmet has been drying in the mould for 4 hours, so it's ready to come out. And Lewis uses a strong blast of air to help lift it out of the mould, like this. Did you hear that? And there it comes. Whoa, that is brilliant. It's like a shiny orange eggshell. It's starting to look more like a bike helmet, isn't it? But there's more. The next stage is drilling. This can get a little bit messy. Lewis drills holes in the top of the helmet so air can get in to keep our heads cool when we wear it. And some holes on the side for straps. That was quick, wasn't it? So we've got the hard shell to protect our head, but it's a little bit wobbly, so we need something to hold it in place. Do you know what it is? That's right, we need the straps. First, we have to put these into the holes in the side of the helmet. They're called rivets. The rivets hold the straps into the helmet, and the straps hold the helmet onto our head. First, Lewis puts part of the rivet and the strap onto this blue press. The helmet goes on top, and then Lewis adds the second part of the rivet. Next, the rivets are pressed together. One strap. Now it's time for the other one. Lewis then fixes an aluminium strip to the edge of the helmet to make the sharp edges smooth. The helmet needs some special padding on the inside so that it fits and it's comfortable to wear. So that if we had an accident, it would help to protect our head, a little bit like a cushion. A quick polish, and it's ready to wear. Here you go, a finished bike helmet. I think it looks brilliant, and I am off for a bike ride. I loved learning about bike helmets. What did you like most about seeing how a bike helmet is made? Do you remember the name of the strong material the helmet is made of? That's right, it's called carbon fibre. Can you remember the sound that was made as the helmet's shell came out of the mould? And did you see my special camera filming the carbon fibre close up? This is called a weave pattern. So the next time you go for a ride on your bike, you'll know how a bike helmet is made to keep us safe from any bumps. And if you see a bird flying, it might be on its way to build a nest in a tree. I'll see you next time. Bye.
There are lots of things